Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan, and what I'd like to do today is introduce you all to my beginner's guide to financial analysis for Amazon.com. So the way the video is going to play out is first and foremost going to go ahead and give you a little bit of background about me, who I am, what I do, and why I do it. And then after that, I'll introduce you all to some of the previews of my Amazon.com beginner's guide. I'll show you the structure, some snippets of the information that's included, and hopefully at the end of the day, at the end of the video, I'll give you all some, if you're interested in purchasing it, I'll give you all the link and we'll wrap it up and then sum it up. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and zip through this little presentation. As promised, a little bit about me. Again, Paul Borosky, doctoral candidate, also MBA. I have been publishing company financial reports since about 2018. Typically on an annual basis, I'll do between 20 to 30 beginner's guides as well as company reports on various companies, public companies, anywhere between from Ford to Tesla to CVS and other large corporations. If you are interested in purchasing one of my financial reports or beginner's guides, just go to this link right here. I am also an author. I've published Beginner's Guide to Understanding Financial Statements and Financial Ratios. You can find that on Amazon, and the link is right here. And then finally, I am an adjunct professor and subject matter expert in finance. I've been teaching at the college level for about 10 plus years now. So if you are interested in some finance tutoring, you're struggling with your finance class, need a little bit of assistance, I do offer finance tutoring. My space is limited though. If you are interested in some finance tutoring, then just contact me at this email right here. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and finish going through this report. And enough about me. Let's go ahead and talk about the star of the show, which is Amazon 2022, the Beginner's Guide to Financial Analysis. So in my Beginner's Guide, I do break it up into three segments, which is the income statement segment, the balance sheet segment, and then the financial ratio segment. So let me go ahead and introduce you all briefly to each one of the segments for Amazon.com 2022. So the first segment is for the income statement. In the income statement, what I've done is I went out and researched Amazon.com's income statements for the last 5 years, and then I summarized them into my financial model. And here's what the summary of each financial statement looks like for the last 5 years. And then in the beginner's guide, I go ahead and for each important line item, what I'll do is I'll explain to you what that line item means. I'll give you the definition for it. I'll give the definition to you again in layman's terms, and then I'll give you some analysis tips as to what you can use or your thought processes to apply when analyzing that specific line item in the income statement. For the balance sheet, I pretty much do the same thing for the balance sheet. In the second section, again, I go ahead and I take a look at Amazon.com's balance sheet for the last 5 years. So the first step, what I did is I summarized it, and it went from 2018 to 2022. And then for this report, I again go ahead and I explain to you the important line items. I'll explain to you what they mean. I'll give it to you in other words, and then I'll give you some analysis tips that you can apply when you are evaluating that specific line item. And the third segment of the beginner's guide is going to be the financial ratios. The financial ratios that I've calculated range from the liquidity ratios, asset ratios, profitability ratios, and debt ratios. And for 15 to 20 of the ratios, not all of them, but for most of them, what I've done is I'll first summarize the liquidity ratios. I'll summarize each category. For example, the liquidity ratios, I'll give you the ratio, I'll give you the calculations that I use, and then I'll also give you a summary of each one of the ratios as well. And here's the liquidity ratio summaries for Amazon.com for the last 5 years. And then finally, for the important ratios, I will go ahead and explain to you what the ratio is. I'll provide you all with the formula for the ratio, and then I'll explain the formula as well. I'll give you the term in layman's terms, which is where I explain right here. I explain that information right here. And then finally, right here, I'm going to give you some analysis tips that you can apply for the important ratios. And then finally, I give you the current ratio. I'll give you the ratio. I'll give you the calculations, the numbers used, and then I'll give you the calculated ratio beneath of it. All right, so hopefully this information was helpful. And if you are interested in purchasing my Amazon.com 2022 Beginner's Guide, the link is on the next page. So let's go ahead and wrap it up and sum it up. In summary, if you are interested in purchasing my Beginner's Guide or Financial Report, all you have to do is go to this link right here. And then if you do buy my Beginner's Guide or Financial Report, in the purchase, it does include a PDF file. And also, just keep in mind, though, it does not include the Excel financial model. That is proprietary. I do include the calculations in the financial reports, but the actual Excel financial model is not included. And then finally, if you are interested in finance tutoring, I may have space available. It is limited. You can find out if I am available and other information by sending me an email, and my email link is right here. All right, so hopefully this video was helpful. As always, go out and have a fantastic day. Thank you.